Okay, now I've transferred my hot soap to a bowl to kind of cool down a little bit. It's still very hot. I think it's about 190 right now. And I was going to tell you what I'm going to put in this. I've got unrefined Ghanaian shea butter, and this is absolutely wonderful. Now what I do differently than what some people I've seen do is some people add it when they're adding their hard oils to the crock pot, and they melt it in there. And what I've done is I like to add it at the end, and it just feels so wonderful on the skin. I'm adding 2 ounces of unrefined shea butter. Now there's different types of shea butter. There's refined and ultra refined, and you really want to get unrefined shea butter from a good source. I like to go get mine from Soaper's Choice. You can look that up on the internet, and I think it's called Columbus Foods, I think is what they call it as well, columbusfoods.com or something like that. But so we're going to stir in this shea butter. It's kind of starts to look like butter as it's melting, and you want to make sure it's all melted. This is really hot, so that'll melt pretty easily. We don't want to have any chunks in there. And when you do this, when you add the shea butter to this soap, which is already wonderful, very natural, very mild, makes a nice hard bar, you can use it right away. It just feels like lotion on your skin when you wash your hands. It feels so smooth on your skin. Even just touching the bar kind of almost feels like it's got lotion in it, and it just feels wonderful. So I am going to keep stirring this in, make sure that's all mixed up. And I'm also, since I'm making an oat soap, this is completely optional. You can just use the soap just as is. It would be wonderful for babies and for bath, hand soap. You could color it, do whatever it is that you want to do with that. I'm going to add 1 cup of colloidal oatmeal or oat flour, which all I did was I took my regular rolled oats that you can get from the store, and I ground it up in a spice grinder until it was nice, kind of like flour consistency, very, very fine. And so that will mix in there really, really well. Now, if you want more of a coarse grind, then you just don't grind it as long, and it will be like this. I'm going to add also just kind of a little more texture. I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of ground oats. So that's a little, as you can see, it's not quite like the flour is. I'm going to dump that in, and that'll make it give a little bit of exfoliation there. And really, when you lather up with an oat soap, it feels so soft and so nice on your skin. It really just lathers. It seems like it almost lathers even better with the oats in it. So this is my personal favorite. This actually I'm making right here. This batch here is going to be for our family. This is going to last hopefully a long time, because my daughter, she's only about 5 months now. She had such bad skin, and it would just get so red, and she got this baby acne so bad, and her scalp was so dry, and I was using the baby wash, which they say, you know, is natural, and I started looking at the ingredients on it, and it's definitely not natural. And it's tear-free, which, you know, it's not tear-free because there's nothing to harm you in it. It's just they make something so the baby can't feel it sting their eyes, because this soap will sting if you get in your eyes, so you just want to be careful. And this is just really great for babies. She does not have the baby acne anymore. Her skin is so nice and clear. And I even use this, since she doesn't really have much hair right now, I actually even use this kind of like as shampoo. I use her head to toe. I wash my daughter in this, and it just is a wonderful, wonderful soap. And so now I've got all my oats in there, and I've got my shea butter all mixed up. It's about, let's see, ooh, yeah, it's much cooler now. So now it's time to add my lavender essential oil. And you can do other essential oils that you like. I'm adding a 1/4 cup in this. And lavender is just very soothing. It's just very, very calming scent. And I never used to think that I would like lavender that much, but lavender is one of our favorites, and I love it for babies. It's just, especially at bath time before bed, the lavender is just really nice. Get them ready to go to sleep. And so I'm going to keep stirring this. You got to make sure Make sure all that bits of the essential oils mixed in. You don't want to have that floating around in there, because essential oil is very strong and you don't want to, it's got to be mixed with something else. You don't want to just ever use essential oils straight. It's always got to be mixed in with a carrier oil, or like with the soap. You want it really mixed in there. So now it is time to add it to our molds. And it's always good when you're done with this. I'm going to tap it on the counter to get out any air bubbles. This is pretty thick, so you really can't quite do all the designs that you can do with cold process soap. See all those pretty swirls and things? That's because they're doing it when it's before it's gone through the gel phase, where it's gotten translucent and thick like this. So they pour that in the mold after they've done all their designs, and it kind of sits like this. This it's cooked and it's gotten nice and hard and thick, and now I'm going to put it in my mold, and I really can't mess with it after that. So, but you can do different colors, and you can plop in, you know, maybe half of it one color, half of it another color, and you can sort of do like a marbled look, and you could swirl it with your knife and do some different effects. And so it doesn't have to be plain, even though it's hot process soap. It has more of a rustic, natural, old-fashioned look to it. And you can make it smooth on the top if you want, or you can leave it kind of bumpy, however you want to do that. Okay, now I've put it in my molds. I'm just going to make sure there's no air bubbles. This is how much this one made. It made a lot of soap. And you don't want to let your soap get too cool before you put it in your mold, because what will happen is it starts to cool pretty quickly and it will get kind of chunky and you won't be able to put it in here. So you still need to do it when it's kind of warm, or your soap won't stick together and you'll kind of have crumbs, and you don't want to do that. So it's still got to be warm. And so now that it's in there, we're just going to let it sit and cool.